Good evening and welcome to Southeastern 16 presented by FanDuel. I'm your host, Chris Lee. Graham Doty going to join me shortly as we'll get into SEC baseball action from Friday evening. Lots of games to talk about. Every SEC team in action, and all but one of them won. The lone standout in that, of course, the South Carolina Gamecocks, who had a rough one with Army. Anyway, we are presented by our friends at Home Field Apparel. We'll tell you about those guys shortly. Also presented by FanDuel, which has, last I checked, LSU as plus 550 as your national title odds. So anyway, we'll talk about every SEC game tonight. We'll take your questions, your comments, your super chats, all those things that you can do to help us out here. Having all kinds of technical issues tonight. I don't know what the deal is. I'm getting an echo on the broadcast. If you were hearing the same thing, please let me know. We don't want to subject you to that. So hopefully it is just me. Anyway, always reminding you to help out our show how you can. You can do that for free, and you can leave us a rating where you get your podcasts. That's Apple, Spotify, all those places. You can leave us a thumbs up on the channel. Hit the like and subscribe buttons. You can join our channel. You can do the supporter tier, $3.99 a month. That gets you a custom badge. You can do the MVP tier. That gets you $5.99 a month. All the members' perks that you get at the supporter tier, plus some members-only live videos and power rankings. And you can do the Legends tier, $19.99 a month. All those things, plus stuff like being part of your own live show. Anyway, waiting for Graham to join us. He had a game to call tonight, and I'm hoping we'll be back any minute. In the meantime, just me and you guys. Had some camera troubles tonight too, so not sure what's going on. We don't have a regular camera feed here, but hopefully we'll make it through that. Anyway, all right. Pull up my notes, and we will get to the games of tonight. Again, we are going to talk about all 16 of those. And we'll start in this order. I'm going to start with LSU, which had a neutral site game today with Indiana, won 14-7. LSU's offense just continues to rake. The Tigers had 13 hits, 14 walks, a hit batsman. The hit was great. Zach York continues to rake for LSU. He had a home run, knocked in 4 runs. Catcher Caden Mbide reached base 6 times. Stephen Milam was 3 for 5, walked, knocked in 3. I think the big thing this game, LSU was a little slow in getting started, which has been kind of a frequent occurrence lately. But the Tigers end up getting the job done because you just can't get them out. Gavin Guidry threw a scoreless inning, struck out a guy, got the win. And Kason Evans went 5 innings, gave up 2, struck out 4, and issued a couple free passes. So would you like to see Kason Evans as the dominant Kason Evans we saw? Sure. But much better outing this time around than he had last time. All right, we're waiting for Graham. I'm not sure when he's going to join us. But let me do one thing here. Okay. I think that'll take care of the echo on my end, which is nice. All right. Next one up in my order that I was going to talk about them. I think Arkansas. The offense is really having trouble getting untracked. Arkansas beat Xavier 5-2 in 9 innings on Friday afternoon. But the thing that's standing out, their pitching, their top-tier arms have just been elite. That happened again today. Gabe Gackle went 5 innings, gave up a run, struck out 7, only issued 2 free passes. Cole Gibbler, who I'm a little surprised they threw in this spot, I guess. think Arkansas was up 5-1 when he came in, entering the sixth. He goes 4 innings, gives up a run, strikes out 2. So those guys have been lights out. Is just about everybody in that rotation so far. Not everybody. A couple guys have struggled. Dossett struggled, and of course, Hunter Dietz struggled, but Dietz hasn't thrown in a while, so let's give that some time. I think for the offense, one of the constants has been Cam Kozel, who went viral, I guess, kind of in that video where he tried to, catch a possum or something like that. Dave Van Horn told him, hey, watch out, that'll give you leprosy. Don't hear that term dropped a lot. But he had a home run and knocked in 3. Nolan Souza, their DH, went 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs. So Arkansas got a 5-2 win over Xavier, which is a pretty tough team in terms of comparing them to other teams SEC teams played tonight. So the Razorbacks coming off a winning weekend last week in Texas, get it done in their first home weekend series of the year. All right, next up I had I think the next biggest one was Tennessee. I kind of warned everybody, hey, Kent State may not be a pushover for the Vols because they've not been a pushover the first couple weeks through the season. And that was the case again tonight. Tyler Myatt, the hero in Knoxville, hit like a 430-foot bomb to walk that one off as a pinch hitter. For Tennessee, Tegan Kuhn's kind of mixed results. You like the number on the scoreboard. He gave up 1 earned run in 5 1/3 innings. He struck out 4, but he did issue 6 free passes. Brady Frederick, the East Tennessee State transfer, got the win in that one, pitching the final 2/3 of an inning. In addition to Myatt hitting that walk-off home run, Jay Abernathy goes 1 for 3 for the Vols. Reese Chapman, who's quietly had a good start in right field, goes 2 for 4. So Tennessee remains unbeaten and gets a win against, I think, a pretty tough team in Kent State. Favorite to win the MAC and was good its first weekend. So we'll see how that goes for the Golden Flashes. But Tennessee walking off with Tyler Myatt, the JUCO transfer. Anyway, next up, I'm going to go to Florida. And I think this is actually one of the bigger stories of the night because I was really interested to see what the Gators were going to get from Liam Peterson because it was not good last week in that opener, which Florida lost. Tonight, different story. Liam Peterson in this one goes, if I can find the notes, 5 1/3, gives up no runs, just gives up 3 base runners, strikes out 12 against a Kennesaw State team that's got some talent. Kennesaw State is a team that Georgia plays a good bit in the midweek. Anyway, Florida wins that one 9-3 as the bullpen gives up a few runs late. I think the headliners in this one offensively, Ethan Surwick, the transfer from Ole Miss, goes 2 for 4, hits 2 home runs, knocks in 4 runs. He was a guy that coaching staff was really high on after what he did a year ago at Ole Miss. Actually, what he did in the summer. He didn't play a lot at Ole Miss. And then Sam Miller, third baseman tonight, with Brendan Lawson playing short. And by the way, the little bit I saw Lawson, he looked fairly fluid in the field. Didn't see a lot of chances there, but he's got some athleticism. So he's pushed Sam Miller to third. Miller was the Ivy League Player of the Year last year and had a little trouble getting the lineup. It looks like he's in there now. So Florida, after losing its opener last Friday, has now won every game since, and it gets some respectable opponents too. Got a couple of midweek wins, did the Gators against Stetson. Okay, still waiting on Graham to join me. Hopefully that will happen before too long. Next one I want to talk about is Texas, and this one ended just before I went on the air. Texas played a Michigan State team that went into Louisville last week and took 2 of 3. Now, I don't know how good Michigan State is or is not. This is a team that I think was picked 13th by Baseball America in the 17-team Big Ten. But you go to Louisville and win the opening series there, you're going to get some attention. And so they had mine coming in this one. Texas tonight, I think led from the get-go or close to it. And just, I had Texas number 1 in my power rankings coming into this week because I just think all around Texas has been the most impressive team so far. Maybe not the most eye-popping run numbers that you're seeing at some other places, but the pitching's been good. The defense at Texas is always going to be good. So Texas takes down Michigan State on Friday night. Ruger Riojas, who did not pitch great in the opener last week, was very good tonight. He goes 6, gives up a run, strikes out 10. And so I think that was encouraging. The power came tonight for Texas. Casey Borba, Ethan Mendoza, and Anthony Pack Jr. all hit home runs. Pack is starting, and I think has started every game in the outfield. That may have been his first home run. But Texas just continues to be oh so solid. That pitching staff is deep, and Riojas gave them 6 innings tonight and allowed some of his bullpen mates to stay a little fresh heading into the final 2 games of that series. David says Pack is hitting .533, batting 9th in the order. It was his first home run. My goodness. .533 is good no matter where you hit, but to hit in the 9 hole in the order, I think that is super, super impressive. David says he thinks Elander has to make him, I think him being Myatt the DH in midweek games. So, yeah, I mean, he's a guy that we had Elander on. He said he's got some massive, massive power. So, anyway, one of the biggest plays of the day in Knoxville when Tyler Myatt walked off Kent State. David says Texas's ERA is below 2. Not surprised. Didn't know it was exactly there, but they've been fantastic. All right, going to tell you about a couple of our sponsors because before we go further, we've still got to cover A&M, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Vanderbilt, Georgia, Kentucky, Oklahoma, Alabama, South Carolina, Missouri, Auburn. We'll get to all those except for maybe Auburn, which is, I think, in the middle innings of its game as we're doing this live. So anyway, may not be able to hit that one tonight, but of course we'll talk that in our weekend wrap-up, which you will get from us probably around 8 o'clock Central on Sunday night. We haven't set the time for sure, but that's kind of when we're aiming for. So I hope you guys will be there for that. Anyway, we are presented by several other people in addition to Home Field Apparel. They're our title sponsor. They make fantastic stuff. Just their products are top notch. I don't have the read in front of me. We're going to be telling you plenty about them though this year. Because man, they have got some of the most beautiful apparel that you will ever see. And they've got something in your team, I can pretty much guarantee you. Anyway, we appreciate those guys. We also appreciate our sponsors at ROKFORM. Those guys make the world's strongest magnetic phone case. I used the phone case in the vent clip of my car. All their stuff is durable. I've dropped my phone, I don't know how many times, dropped it today. I don't even bother to look at it when I drop it because I know it's going to be protected, which it always is with my ROKFORM phone case. They've got golf and other phone accessories. SEC25 at rockform.com or ROKFORM.com. Get you 25% off your entire order. Also brought to you by Ann Collar, which makes my new favorite clothes. They look great. They fit great. They are super comfortable. They are wrinkle and stain resistant. Sorry, my dog is going off in the other room. You probably heard that. Anyway, you're going to get Ann Collar's clothes, and you're going to love them. And even at full price, you're going to say, how in the world did I get these clothes at this price? How did they not cost twice as much? But you don't even have to pay full price. Use promo code SEC16 at AnnCollar.com. That will get you 16% off the entire order. Help out those who help our show and get some great clothes in return. Also brought to you by our friends at Icon Wallets. I got one of those too. Man, I love my Icon wallet. It is a more modern wallet. I will not be going back to my old wallet. It holds everything my old one did, but it's smaller, easier to access. It's got a credit card pocket that's just great. You'll see it when you get it. Go to icon-wallets.com. Use promo code SEC16 and get 20% off your entire order at icon-wallets.com. All right, back to the show. Again, doing this solo while I wait for Graham. Hopefully he's going to join me a little bit later. But Texas A&M in one of the more interesting games of the night. I watched, probably a third to half of that one. Texas A&M shuts out Penn 1-0. The Aggies walk it off when Penn center fielder misplayed an atom ball off the bat of Boston Kellner, one of many newcomers who was in the lineup for the Aggies. Shane Sadeo goes 7 innings, gives up 3 hits, no runs, strikes out 7, just 1 free pass. That was one of my keys I was watching coming into the weekend. He was not great with his control of his stuff last week, so I wanted to see Shane Sadeo come up and be an ace on Friday night. Man, he did that. I think if he can do that, I think this is a super, super tough team because I think the hitting is going to be there. They didn't bring the bats tonight. They hit the ball a little bit, but just left guys all over the bases, but caught a break at the end with the misplay out of Penn center fielder. So Aggies start off the Friday night with their first win in game one of with a win in game one of the series. All right, next I'm going to go to Mississippi State. Didn't see this one, but I did see something that encouraged me in the box score. As State beats Delaware 9-2, out hits Delaware 16-4. Their starting pitching last weekend was just okay. Their hitting was just okay. It was better tonight. Ryan McPherson goes 6 innings, gives up 1 earned run, 2 total, strikes out 11, 2 free passes. Jack Gleason out of the bullpen gives him 2 scoreless. Ace Reese continues to hit 3 for 5, 2 RBIs. He is hitting .565. Bryce Chance 3 for 3, knocked in a run. Vitus Valencius 1 for 4. He's now hitting .625. State really started to hit the ball in its couple of midweek games. Troy and I don't remember who else. But, really, really encouraged by the way Ryan McPherson threw tonight for State. I think that is probably their best start of the season from a starting pitcher so far. All right, next one I've got on the list. We're going to talk about Ole Miss. And I didn't get to see this one either. Hoping Graham would be here for this one because I figure he probably had eyes on it. Ole Miss beats Missouri State 11-6. Missouri State left 13 men on base. Again, told you this is going to be one of the better teams I thought that an SEC team might play this weekend. And Missouri State gave Ole Miss a bit of a fight. Hunter Elliott had some struggles early. He goes 4 2/3, gives up 5 runs, 4 earned, strikes out 6, but has 8 free passes. Hudson Calhoun in relief, one of the stars of the day. He goes 3 1/3, gives up an earned run, strikes out 4, gives up a couple free passes, 4 hits. The Rebels starting to bring the thunder with the bats. Judd Udemark, 2 home runs tonight, 2 for 4, 3 RBIs. Austin Foley, a home run, and Will Furness, Ole Miss's first baseman, reaches base 4 times tonight as Ole Miss, I believe, stays unbeaten with an 11-6 win over Missouri State. Vanderbilt, I got to see this one in Nashville. The Commodores, a 16-5 walk-off winner in 8 innings over Marist. And the story for this one, Vanderbilt continues to bring the thunder with the bats. Commodores led the country in home runs coming into today. That was a story again. Braden Holcomb, Corbin Reynolds, and Logan Johnstone all hit home runs. Connor Fennell pitched 5 innings, gave up 2 home runs. They were both solo. Those were the only runs he gave up. Strikes out 7 and issues no free passes. Little news for Vanderbilt is that catcher Colin Barcy was out today with a shoulder issue. Tim Corbin says it is not serious, but keep an eye on that. He said he's day-to-day. Don't know if we'll see him the rest of the weekend. Corbin Reynolds, a pretty good defender, and they may just ride it with him the rest of the weekend. Hitting a home run today certainly did not hurt his chances to stay in the lineup. All right, next up. I know we got some noise in here about South Carolina. You know what? I'll just do you guys a favor. Let's get this one over with. I had it lower on my list. This is the one team in the league that lost. And I want to apologize to South Carolina fans. In the preview, I said they were playing Army this weekend. That was partially true. Army's one of the 3 teams they're playing. They play the Air Force tomorrow. No, they play Navy tomorrow and Air Force on Sunday. But it did not go well for South Carolina's pulmonary. Said we weren't expecting this. And I think it started with the pitching. Army beats South Carolina 9-5. Riley Goodman, the freshman starter, who's their Friday guy for the second straight week, just couldn't find the strike zone. He goes 3 2/3, 5 free passes, strikes out 3, gives up 3. And Josh Gunther, who's one of their more talented pitchers, maybe their best bullpen arm today, just did not have it. 3 1/3, 5 earned runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Talmadge LaCroix, the highlight of that one offensively for the Gamecocks, the catcher who belts a home run. But Carolina now lost a couple games. And, just offense hasn't been putting up the runs like the other teams did. And the pitching's been better, but not good today. So, anyway, the Gamecocks, will see if they can rebound against Navy tomorrow and then Air Force on Sunday. SC Scout guy says, guys don't seem like they care. Look totally uninspired. Hey, Paul Maneri called him out last weekend. Said he didn't know what he had to do to motivate them. That's not the thing you want to hear in week 1. We got a super chat here, I think, from Quinn. Maybe that's just a member badge. But Auburn did get a big win. Marciano was their starting pitcher. I'm going to check on this because when I went to the scoreboard earlier, that game was not over. So, you know what, Quinn, I'll get to that a little bit later so I can take a look at that and adjust the box score. But I promise you we're going to get to the Tigers. Next up, I'm going to go talk about, let's see, Georgia. News for Georgia this week, and it's not good. Kenny Ishikawa, the two-way guy who's been just fantastic for the Bulldogs on the hitting and the pitching side. He's got, I think, a stress fracture in his foot. He is going to be out a while. But today, Georgia didn't need him. It beat Samford 11-1 in 7 innings. Joey Voltko, the Stanford transfer, who's one of the key guys in the league that we circled, is a guy that they thought they could make into a better pitcher. Wasn't great at Stanford, wasn't great in summer ball. 2 starts, that's 2 pretty good performances for him. Today, he goes 6 innings, gives up a run, strikes out 8, and the bats got going down in Athens tonight. Colby Branch, 2 for 3, homered. Rylan Lujo also homers, and Henry Allen, their left fielder, homers. So Georgia gets a very impressive 11-1 win over Samford, which is the team that I think most pundits think is going to win the Southern Conference. So Georgia really playing good ball. That the arms have been really good through, what is this, game 5 or 6 now for them. So that's encouraging. That's the thing that I wanted to see from Georgia, was better pitching, and the lineup has been maybe not as eye-popping as it was this time a year ago, but it's been good. So if Georgia can pitch this way, it is going to win a whole lot of ball games. Kentucky, I believe the only team tonight that played a true road game in the SEC. Actually, I say tonight, it was this afternoon. Kentucky goes to Evansville and gets a 9-2 win there. The story there, Jackson Jolkin, for the second straight week, an outstanding start. He struck out 7 tonight. He has now struck out 17 guys in 9 innings. Houston transfer, gave up 1 earned run, 3 hits. The offense, not a lot of power in that lineup for Kentucky. And remember, Tyler Bell not playing right now with a shoulder injury. But Kentucky only stole 2 bases today, but got enough offense from other guys. Jake Thornish, their center field transfer from St. Bonaventure, was very good. Hudson Brown, their first baseman, I think has got some potential. He goes 3 for 4, knocks in a couple runs. The Cats get a road win at Evansville this afternoon. Oklahoma, a 22-1 win in 6.5 innings. Oklahoma's offensive numbers have been fantastic so far, and, man, they were great again today. Now, look, Coppin State is going to be one of the worst teams that anybody in the SEC sees all year. But the Sooners were consistent. They had at least 2 runs in every offensive inning. They reached base 33 times. I mean, they only had 18 outs. So had about a 650 on base percentage today. You're going to win all your games when you do that. Sooners had 11 hits. Nobody really stood out because just so many guys had hits and reached bases. But Drew Dickerson, 2 for 3 with a homer. Dayton LaChance goes 2 for 4, knocks in 3 runs. Everybody in the lineup hitting and getting base. On base for Oklahoma, which is unbeaten. And I think probably the bigger story here, Cam Johnson, second straight fantastic start. He goes 5, gives up a run, 1 free pass, strikes out 7. Oklahoma right now is the surprise of the league, and frankly, has probably played the best baseball of anybody in the league. Just been so consistent. The bats have hit every game, and the pitching really hasn't had much of a night off either. So congrats, Cam Johnson in Oklahoma. One of the great stories so far in the SEC is seeing Cam Johnson find his control. Next up, let's talk about Alabama, which had some trouble scoring runs. The bats have gotten going for the Crimson Tide. Tyler Fay goes 5 innings tonight. Wasn't great, 3 earned runs, 5 free passes, 5 strikeouts, but better than a week ago as Alabama beats Rhode Island 19-4 in 7 innings. Justin LeBron off to a torrid start, 3 for 5, 2 home runs, knocked in 5. Brady Neal, their catcher. Hey, if that guy can hit this year, look out, because he was a big time catching prospect out of high school 3 years ago, or 4 years ago now, maybe. When he went to LSU, transferred to Alabama last year, hit under 200. But Rob Bowen likes his work ethic, likes what he brings. Tonight, he goes 3 for 3, knocks in 2. And Justin Osterhaus, the Purdue-Fort Wayne transfer, goes 2 for 4 with a home run and 3 RBIs. I think 19 runs, the high water mark for Alabama's offense as it beats Rhode Island, which isn't very good. But anyway, Alabama gets a nice win tonight and gets it from a little bit of everywhere. Actually, Rhode Island was picked to win the A-10 preseason. Not been off to a good start, so maybe a better team in there than we've seen so far. But anyway, just got a few left here. And next in my order, we talked about South Carolina. Let's go to Missouri. Missouri got another win over New Haven tonight. So Missouri now above 500. New Haven, a first-year Division I program. Highlights for Missouri tonight. Javon Pimentel. I think that's the guy that I've circled as maybe the key player on their team. He missed last season. Tonight, he was excellent. He strikes out, I believe, 10. Let me double-check that in my notes. He did, yes, struck out 10 in 5 innings, gave up a run. Pierre Seals, their center fielder, 2 for 5, 3 RBI. Missouri 12-2 over New Haven in 7 innings. As Missouri is playing, I think, one of 4 teams playing a neutral site game. All right, so I get to Auburn. So let me pull the box score up in this one because I did not have that at the time we were going to the air. Pardon me while I delay for just a minute to find that. Here we go. Auburn, a nice win over Kansas State. Kansas State, a team that was pretty red hot coming into this. In fact, K-State was... Can't find it. 4-0. Yeah. Just slaughtered 2 Big Ten teams last weekend, and also UConn beat Air Force in the midweek. K-State has really been swinging the bat. That did not happen tonight, apparently, against Jake Marciano, the Virginia Tech transfer, who's just been outstanding so far for Auburn. Had one of the best starts of the week last week, and tonight was pretty good again. Jake Marciano gives up no runs, just 2 base runners, strikes out 8. Drew Whalen, the Western Kentucky transfer, throws a couple of scoreless, and Garrett Brewer, Michigan State transfer, throws a scoreless inning at the end of it. The bats tonight weren't stellar, I guess. Auburn did have 11 hits. All of those were singles, 3 walks, so it was just a matter of stringing stuff together. Ethan Bingaman, transfer first baseman, or maybe he's a freshman, I can't remember. He goes 2 for 3. Eric Guevara, who's been one of their better hitters, goes 2 for 4 and knocks in a run tonight for Auburn. Butch Thompson's been really frustrated with that offense. And frankly, their offense is better than they've shown. They will come around. I think Butch Thompson would like that to be sooner rather than later. But so far, yeah, the pitching is really carrying Auburn. My biggest question about the Tigers was going to be that starting pitching. I thought the bullpen would be solid. I thought the lineup would be terrific. Bullpen has been really good. The lineup just is not getting it done, and I don't know why. I think the injury to Chris Rembert is not helping things. But, hey, when you're giving up 1 or 2 runs a game like Auburn is most nights, except for that Cincinnati game in the midweek, Cincinnati can hit it a bit and press your defense. But, yeah, I think they were. I think Auburn's pitching staff has been one of the early surprises of the league, at least from the starting pitching standpoint. All right, players of the day. I'm going to split it here. I'm going to go Liam Peterson. It was really on the spot after last week's performance. Just was not very good. Tonight, he pitched like the ace that people think he can be. Auburn beats a pretty decent Kennesaw State team. And I'm going to split it with Jake Marciano because Kansas State had really been slugging it. So I'm going to give player of the day honors to those guys. As a hitter, I'm just going to run down the nominees. I'm going to go Justin LeBron, 2 home runs, 3 hits tonight. Ethan Serwick for Florida, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. Colby Branch for Georgia hits a home run, knocks in 3. Zach York for LSU, who just seems to get extra base hits every game. Home run, 4 RBIs. Judd Unemark, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs today. Ace Reese, 3 for 5. Braden Holcomb for Vandy, I think knocked in 4 today. He hit a home run. I'm going to give it to Ethan Serwick, I think. Guy for Florida, again, facing a pretty decent Kennesaw State team. Hit 2 big home runs, I think, for them tonight to kind of break that open in the middle innings. So, again, part of this is who are you playing? Justin LeBron will probably be in there too with a couple of home runs, but I think those are going to be my players of the night. Anyway, yeah, apologies for the technical issues and for getting started a little bit late. And, yeah, we're going to be back on Sunday night. Again, I think it's going to be around 8 o'clock, maybe a little bit later, depending on when we go. But anyway, I think I got everybody. If I missed someone, my apologies. I did miss a super chat from Quinn. Said they won 5-1. Yes, you did. I think, again, Auburn, I don't know what the ERA leaders are right now in the SEC, but I think Auburn's got to be up there, right up there with Oklahoma, Texas. Really, really good pitching staff. Good performances so far. So anyway, again, apologies for the abbreviated show and for getting started late. But appreciate you guys being here. We got more stuff coming up next week. In addition to the Sunday night wrap-up, we're going to do Monday Power Rankings, and then we'll do it all over again Thursday with our predictions for next weekend. May bring you some content in between, depending on how the week goes. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. That is free. Leave us a rating where you get your podcasts. And be sure to join one of our membership tiers. Anyway, I'm Chris Lee. Thank you for watching Southeastern 16. God bless you. We'll see you again soon at Southeastern 16, presented by FanDuel.